Welcome to Motivational Success Stories, where we explore journeys that prove no dream is too big and no road too tough if you have the courage to keep going. Have you ever been told girls can't do that? Or felt like your background, your skin color, or what you wear somehow set limits on where you belong? Today, I want to share the story of Serena Williams, a girl from the tough streets of Compton, California, who practiced with scuffed old rackets and bruised tennis balls, and yet rewrote the history of tennis, inspiring millions to believe they can break every limit life throws at them. If you've ever felt ignored, underestimated, or just wondered if someone like you could ever make it, this story is for you. Part 1. Early Days in Compton. Dream Big. Even when the world says no. Serena Williams was born in 1981, the youngest of 5 daughters in a family with modest means, living in Compton, a place better known for violence than for future champions. Her father was a security guard, her mother a nurse. Money was tight, but hope was alive. Richard Williams, her dad, wasn't a tennis coach. He learned from books, old videos, and an unwavering belief that his daughters deserved every shot at greatness. So every morning, Serena and her sister Venus practiced on courts scarred by cracks, sometimes chased away by gang activity. They used old rackets, sometimes borrowed balls, but their father's message was clear. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. Growing up, Serena and Venus were almost always the only black kids on the tennis courts. They didn't come from country clubs, they came from Compton's sidewalks. Have you ever felt like an outsider standing on the wrong side of the fence? Serena knows that feeling, yet her family taught her to turn it into fuel for a bigger dream. Part 2. Childhood Grit. Learning to stand out by standing tall. Serena remembers, "My biggest fear wasn't the ball. It was the way people looked at me." At just 9, Serena played with a power and fearlessness that stood out. But everywhere she heard, "This isn't a sport for people like you. Only rich kids get to the top." Instead of giving in, Serena woke up before sunrise, trained on cracked courts, sometimes with balls so old they had barely any bounce. Her mother often said, "Nothing is too small to start. What matters is you try harder than yesterday." Lots of kids start with more than she had, but not all go as far because they quit at the first locked gate. Serena chose to break them open. Part 3. Stepping into the big leagues, from outsider to challenger. At 14, Serena entered her very first professional tournament. The world doubted her. Commentators said she wasn't ready, that her technique wasn't polished, that she was too raw and didn't have the right trainers backing her. She lost her debut match, but she refused to break. Instead, she spent that summer mastering her serve, a shot that would one day terrify every opponent. By 1997, Serena reached the 3rd round of the US Open. Most experts saw her as a nice try story, not a future legend. But for Serena, patience was a weapon. She has said, "A champion is not defined by their wins, but by how they recover when they fall." Have you ever felt like you don't belong just because your story starts differently from everyone else? Part 4. Family Power. The Williams sisters uplifting each other. Serena and Venus weren't just rivals. They were sisters who cheered each other on, shared victories and heartbreaks, celebrated and comforted in equal measure. Serena often recalls, "At home, I'm the baby. When someone bullied me, Venus stepped in first, always had my back." The Williams family is proof. Strength comes from the tribe supporting you. Their parents did everything for their daughters, taught, learned, sacrificed, instilling a belief that no one can take your dream unless you let them. As Americans often say, behind every successful woman is a tribe of other strong women who have her back. Serena is living proof that you don't have to climb alone, and that lifting each other up is power. Part 5. Grand Slam Breakthrough. Rewriting the Rules of Success. In 1999, Serena Williams made history by winning her first Grand Slam at the U.S. Open, beating world number one Martina Hingis at just 17 years old. She was the first black woman in nearly 50 years to claim that trophy. Journalists kept asking, "Do you feel like an outsider? Does your skin color add pressure?" Serena's answer was simple. "I don't feel pressure because pressure is a privilege." In the years to come, Serena would rack up 23 Grand Slam singles titles, a record of all records for the Open era. Each win sat atop thousands of hours of practice, rehab after injuries, and overcoming heartbreaks, including the loss of her half-sister to gun violence. But instead of playing by anyone else's rules, Serena made her own, on power, fashion, and life. She wore bold dresses. She played fierce. She refused to shrink herself to fit anyone's stereotype. Have you ever been told you don't fit in just because you don't match the crowd? Part 6. Facing Prejudice. Battling racism, sexism, and double standards. Serena became a target, not only of opponents, but of critics who picked at her body, her fashion, her candor. She faced louder and more public criticism than almost any champion. She was fined for on-court outbursts, sometimes unfairly, subjected to body shaming in the media, labeled as too aggressive, too emotional, too much. Instead of staying silent, Serena found her voice and used her platform to speak out for women, for people of color, for everyone told to sit down and be quiet. She believes the success of every woman should be the inspiration to another. We should raise each other up. Even when online hate poured in by the millions, she chose to be real, to inspire other little girls, especially black girls, to step into the spotlight and own their power. If you've ever been labeled or limited by prejudice, Serena's journey is proof you can use criticism as fuel. Part 7. Becoming a global icon and beyond tennis. Serena didn't just win matches. She changed the world's idea of what greatness looks like. She founded Serena Ventures, investing in startups founded by women and minorities, giving back and creating opportunities for those like her, who start with little but a dream. Her voice powered social justice, education, equality, and women's empowerment campaigns. Serena also became a fashion icon, gracing the cover of Vogue and Elle, breaking industry standards with unapologetic confidence. She once shared, "I've had to learn to fight all my life, got to learn to keep smiling. If you smile, things will work out." Have you ever believed you could inspire others outside your own field, even when others think you're meant for just one thing? Part 8. Lessons from Serena. Unlocking the power to break barriers. What does Serena's journey teach us? Here are 5 core lessons. 1. Dreams belong to everyone, regardless of gender, race, or background. Grit turns doors into paths. 2. Setbacks are fuel. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Even if standing up means starting all over again. 3. Family and community are power. Be grateful and lift others as you climb. Turn critics into motivators. Never let someone's words define your worth. 5. Lead with your heart and help others. When you inspire others, you multiply your strength. You may never play a Grand Slam, but every one of us faces our own Compton tennis court, a place where we feel outmatched or out of place. Will you listen to the crowd or the voice in your heart telling you to keep going anyway? Serena Williams is proof. You don't have to do it the normal way. Be real. Stand up. Break the mold, not for the applause, but so no one ever says people like you can't. Thank you for being with Motivational Success Stories. If you're inspired by Serena's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell us about the barriers you want to break or the stories you want us to tell next. Your story may be the light someone else needs. Wishing you the courage to break every limit and chase every dream today and always. See you in the next chapter.